Welcome to Life Gloss, a beauty podcast for sassy and seasoned women who have lived life and have a drawer full of lip gloss to prove it. We're your hosts, Susan Gerdeman
and Hillary Clark-Mina. Join us each Thursday as we discuss life and how it relates to the world of beauty inside and out. All right, Life Glossers, are you ready to walk the line with us? From Greta Garbo in the 1920s to Twiggy in the 1960s, all the way to Amy Winehouse in the aughts, no makeup product has a history of eyeliner. Eyeliner didn't become mainstream in the West until around the 1920s, and archaeologists have traced the origin of eyeliner back nearly 6,000 years to ancient Mesopotamians and Egyptians. They used eyeliner to protect themselves from the evil eye, as well as the harsh desert sun. Picture it. Eyeliner was like the first pair of sunglasses.
So take off those shades and fast forward to today, and the eyeliner market is expected to surpass almost $4.5 billion by 2032. That's according to a research group, 360 Marketing Updates. But honestly, not bad for a product that was originally made of lead sulfide, which is coal, and water.
Incredible. And animal fats and soaps and all kinds of crazy ingredients. As you know, I am a beauty historian, and I can go on and on about eyeliner, which was also mascara, forever. So that said, we're going to fast forward into modern. And as you guys know, modern influencers spend a lot of time telling you what you can't do after 40, like as if there are all these rules around eyeliner now, what you can and can't wear and where you can and can't put it. And we do not like to follow the rules here. We do believe that rules are made to be broken, but that's not going to be helpful unless we tell you when, how, and why for you. So we're here to help you find your best eye, break the rules for you. And for me, I know that there are two categories. Do I want to go natural or do I want to go drama? Because, you know, after 50, we are all about the drama and we don't have to give it up.
I mean, I just like to think back, Hillary, to high school for me and how far we've come from the red Maybelline eyeliner pencils that would come in a 2-pack. They would come in black or dark brown. Those were your only shade choices. And we had to actually melt them with a Bic lighter to make them soft enough to put them inside the inner membrane of our eye. And that look is something that I just always think back to, and just, it's unbelievable how far we've come in technology and how far we've come with eye pencils and the ingredients and the labs working on our behalf so that we don't have to carry around a Bic lighter when we want to use an eye pencil anymore.
Amen. I was doing that with Wet n Wild. Exactly the same thing. Yeah. Probably East Coast, West Coast, you know? Yeah. Wet n Wild eyeliners. Yep. Lighting them on fire.
Oh, the things we did with Bic lighters in the day. But anyway, that's another episode. But there's so many differences, I think, with eyeliners. And I know we're going to break this episode down into our liquids and powders and gels and all that kind of stuff. And I think as we go through this, we can just really give little tips and techniques that we like, you know, to do with eye pencils, especially after the age of 40.
Right. And that's one of the most important things to take a look at is how has your eye shape changed? Because your eye shape will change. Now, I'm going to say something a little bit shocking right here in the very beginning and get it out. I have done a little experiment that I really like at the moment. I have always had almond-shaped eyes. I've always been like a cat eye lover. It's always worked for me. Those of you that follow us know that like my little winged eyeliner, like my little wings are broken. My little corners have fallen a little bit, but I still have a pretty lush lash line. But I find that if I want to do more of a cat eye, My lashes at the outer corner drag it down because I've had to scoop my cat eye in so much.
Mhm.
So I tried something on a whim. I put my makeup artist hat on while doing my own makeup the other day, which, believe it or not, I don't often do. And I looked at my eyes and I was like, I spend all this time precisely placing this wing so that it gives my eye the illusion of an upturn, even though it's collapsing a bit, which is just fine. And then I put mascara on and it pulls my line down. So I plucked out the last three lashes at the corner of my eyes, outer corner of my eyes, so you can see that liner, and it lifted my entire eye.
Okay, see, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. Reason is the three eyelashes I have left, I desperately am clinging onto them with dear life and would do anything to keep them lush and thick and growing forever. So, this just goes to show you, listeners, we all have different needs, we all have different lashes, and we all age differently. And as we do tend to age, we do lose our eyelashes. They do become thinner. Our eyebrows, same thing, the hair on the body, etc. Everything changes. But only you, Hillary, would remove the last three lashes that I feel like you might need them. We're going to do like an eyelash transplant later on you. You're going to be like, why did you let me take out those eyelashes? I need them now. Now that I'm a little bit older, I need them. So I think later we'll just do, a little eyelash transplant on you and you'll be okay.
It's entirely possible. I mean, I realized how dangerous it was when I was doing it, but they were in the way. They were
Oh my
dragging
God.
my eye down. And I'm having a summer of like a Sophia Loren cat eye. Like I am not letting anything stop me. I'm having a revival.
Well, it's interesting you say that because, we have a different eye shape, right? Mine tend to be more rounder, a little smaller. So I do like to elongate them as well. And I think that gives a really great look. But I think as we get older, something that I'm doing sometimes, if I'm feeling tired or allergy season right now, I'll even just skip mascara and just do a little eye pencil. And it gives me enough of a lift and enough of a zhuzh. Um, Other days, I'll just do the mascara and no eyeliner. So I think it's really about how you want to look that day, how much time you have, how you want to feel. But don't go by these rules. Like you have to apply two coats of lashes and you have to apply two coats of mascara and you have to apply, a million different eyeshadows and eye pencils and you don't. So in this episode, I really want to make sure that everyone understands do what works for your eye shape and do what works for your eyes at the age you are now, whatever it is. Um, I just think that we all really need to sort of take a look and say to ourselves, is it eye pencil today? Is it no eyeliner? Is it just mascara? Rules are meant to be broken, as you said. So do what's right for you. But we do have some good tips. So let's get to the tips.
A
That's what
hundred
everyone's
percent.
here for. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, yes, 100%. Yeah, so liquid eyeliner. Again, a lot of times people feel like they have to give up liquid eyeliner. The second you can't do that cat eye, if you're a cat eye person, or the second that you feel like it starts to skip because it doesn't glide because you've got a little extra skin going on your lid, that you can't use it anymore. If you like the definition, because a very closely well placed liquid liner, even if you don't wing it, just makes the lashes look more dense. Here's a tip: use your eyelashes as a shelf, turn the pin to the side, and rest the side of the pin on your eyelashes and just wiggle it across the top of your lashes for a denser lash. And bingo, you're done.
I love that tip. I also think another great tip with liquid eyeliner, especially if you're using the pen formulation versus the pot with the brush. The pot with the brush, I find, is easier to do on other people than yourself. As a makeup artist, I can say that. I tend not to use a brush and pot liquid liner on myself. It's just too difficult, but I do it great on other people. So for myself, I love to make my eyelashes look thicker using your technique, Hill, with a pen, liquid pen, but I also like the dotting. individual dots as you go along, sort of skip a few lashes, put a dot, skip, do a dot. It sounds weird, but it actually makes your lashes look really thick. It can create a false eyelash look by doing that technique as well.
Susan, that's an incredible tip. And it's a really good tip, especially if you don't want to look overly made up, or if you're going to be doing like a lot of photos, but they're going to be natural and close up, and you don't want to look like you're wearing a lot of makeup. In fact, Youngblood just came out with a cafe, a rich brown colored liquid felt tip pencil that is perfect for going in between the lashes because it's dark enough but light enough that it doesn't look heavy and it won't move and it's precise and firm. So I love the dot technique. Love it.
Yeah, and I think that with liquid eyeliners, you also have to remember there's two different looks with liquid eyeliner. You have that very thick Amy Winehouse, who used the Rimmel scandalous exaggerate liquid eyeliner for that very exaggerated look. Probably not a look over 40 that's going to look really great on anybody. I'm going to be really honest with you. It tends to be more of a clubby evening, funky look, and sort of fun and different. But I think by using a very precise liquid pen, you get a very sophisticated liquid eyeliner look. There's one that I recently discovered on a trip with my daughter. We went in to a Asian beauty store and we found this company called Heroin Make smooth liquid eyeliner. They're from Japan. It's a company from Japan, Heroin Make, and they have these incredible eye pencils and liquid liners with a very, very skinny, thin, precise line. And I have to tell you, I think it was like $10. It is a magnificent liquid eyeliner to do that dot technique because it is such a tiny little tip on the liquid pen. So I'm having fun with that. I'm really liking that one a lot.
I'm going to try that because I think my first liquid felt tip pen eyeliner was in the 80s. I think my roommate in boarding school brought it from Tokyo.
Yeah, they do incredible liquid eyeliners and eyeliners in general from Japan. But I really like this. I like this brand. I know Stila makes a really good pen too. Um, and yeah, you can try a whole bunch of different ones and just see which
Yeah.
one works for you.
Yeah. The Steel has been a hero for decades. Half Magic is doing one that's kind of cool. It has like a flat edge and a thin edge. It kind of looks like you took a magic marker and ran over it with your car and smashed it. It's interesting if you want an easy wing and you have a steady hand. I had one and I like it. It's dried out. I've had it for a long time, but I did use it until it dried out.
Yeah,
So,
so I think we'll agree that liquid eyeliners can be definitely more of your dramatic look, an
mhm.
evening look, or you can use the pen and make it very natural. Liquid eyeliners are great if you don't want a lot of tugging because they go on so gently and effortlessly. So they're really nice for sensitive eyes and people that just don't, want to tug on the eye area. But I think they tend to smudge a little bit unless you're using a waterproof version. So just be aware of that. They can get a little messy. Or if you have a oily eyelid, they can get a little messy too. The opposite of that, for something really natural, if we want to talk about natural eyeliner, would probably be the good old powder based. And that comes in a couple of different forms, Hill, as you know. You can go back to the 90s and do what we all did, and that was use a matte eyeshadow with a brush, a little bit of water, and there you have it. You've got your eyeliner. That look was so popular during the 1990s. Everybody wore that look. And I think Mac and Bobby Brown were responsible for really making that look solid, that very natural, wet an eyeshadow and use it as your liner. But what's interesting now is there's also companies that make eyeliner powder pencils. I know Charlotte Tilbury just came out with one, but powders in general are always going to be a little bit more of a natural look. And they're really good for people with oily eyelids or oily skin.
Yeah, it's so funny. Those yeah, the like eyeliner pencils with the powder in the lid. It reminds me of when I was, 11 and 12 and I was babysitting and everybody's mom had those. And I thought they
Yes.
were in like the jewel tone frosted colors and I thought they were so cool. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
But definitely, yeah, a water and a powder is great. I mean, I never really used water. I just licked my liner brush and went from there. But Pat McGrath and Krylon, a lot of different places. I think Mac still does a mixing medium. If you can create and turn it into more of a liquidy look, or if you want more staying power, you can use a mixing medium with your powder too. And it gives you a little more control. But yeah, Susan, I do. I love a powder eyeliner. And I'm
Yeah.
kind of to see Charlotte bringing that back. Why not, right?
I do too. It was such a popular look because we all wore such matte makeup. And really, what a powder eyeliner, especially when you do it with a brush and some water, does, it gives you a very matte look. It also lasts all day. It doesn't come off. The only person that I probably wouldn't use it on or recommend it for is someone with hard contact lenses. If you get any of that powder under the lens, oh my God, it's like worst day ever. So I would definitely be careful if you have allergies. I think very itchy eyes, try to stay away from the powder based around the eye. Those little bits of mica will just fly off into the eye and it's just not fun. Trust me.
Yeah, that could be. You could definitely be, you know, not thrilled with us in the
Yeah.
morning. Susan Hillary,
Yeah.
bad,
It's our
bad idea.
fault. Right.
It's awful. So it's so interesting. So the next one that we have here is Cole, and there are so many different ways to pronounce Cole around the world. My mother-in-law says it one way, and as a
Mm.
matter of fact, she's given me her Cole pot from Cairo that she got when she was a little girl. Someone gave it to her. She's now 92. So I
Wow.
have been playing with that. But we've been seeing it coming in and out of fashion literally for millennia. And it's back. And there are a couple people that are doing a really good job. Susan, you just discovered a new favorite.
I mean, my favorite Kohl eye pencil right now is Victoria Beckham. Hands down, I am absolutely in love with this eye pencil. I think I spoke about it on the last episode that we had. The color selection is incredible. They have matte and shimmer, but also the actual pencil itself, they developed a formulation that is so dark and so pigmented, such a full pigment load, but so rich and creamy, glides on, is just the most effortless eye pencil I've ever used in my life. And I am here to tell you, I've used everyone's. She really has created a hero product with her whole eye pencils. And there is just not enough adjectives in the English language for me to describe how much I love these eye pencils. And using them on someone else as well, if you're a makeup artist, incredible. They glide on. They're like a hot knife through butter. They are just incredible. So good on you, Mrs. Beckham. Good on you.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because I know that she's very, very hands-on with all of her formulations. I have not gone yet. I know I said I would. I have not gone and tried them yet. I think I'm afraid that I'm going to walk away with the entire range because I think I might lose control.
Oh, I'm going back and getting every single color. The color that I got was that gorgeous olive, cocky green that is just incredible. But I'm kind of thinking and dreaming about the navy. There's a navy that she does that's kind of like a matte cream navy color that just looks perfection. So I can't say enough about them. Love them, love them, love them. They're
I,
even better than the original Cole, which was really, well, I shouldn't say the original Cole because we all know the history of, Cole eyeliner, et cetera. And it really is, an incredible history and has a cultural reference to it. But Lancome, I think, as far as the masses went, they were really the ones in the 80s that sort of even brought to our attention this word kohl eyeliner. And what did that mean? And what did it look like? And all we knew was it just meant a richer, more long wearing, more highly pigmented eye pencil that just went on like a dream. And Lancome Peacock eyeliner was my first makeup purchase I ever made in my life. So I absolutely love those pencils. They'll always have a soft spot in my heart. But Victoria, she's reigning supreme right now in my world.
I've been online dating all of her shades. So that's why I've been going in. Yes. Yes.
Gotta
So
do it. You gotta
Susan,
do it.
Susan, let me ask you this. How do they wear for tight lining? How do they wear on the inner membrane?
So let me explain what tight lining is, because you're throwing around these terms to our listeners, Hillary, and they might not even know what that is. Do you want to tell them tight lining, what that means?
So tight lining, I think they know.
You
Okay, so
think?
tight
I don't know.
lining,
It's such a makeup artist term, tight lining.
yeah. Maybe I just spend a little bit too much time on the computer. Anyway, you guys can let us know in the comments. We don't ever want to, we don't ever want a makeup artist explain to you if you guys are like, yeah, we know that, guys. Who knows? But to Susan's point. So tight lining, basically what it does is it helps to make your lashes look thicker. You have an upper and a lower membrane from which your eyelashes grow. And tight lining is basically lining either the upper or the lower inner membrane of the eyes. If you do one, sometimes it'll transfer to both. I'm always on the hunt for a good tight line on the top that doesn't transfer to the bottom. So that's what I'm
So
looking for.
yeah, so to your point, Hill, the Victoria Beckham, I find, because I tight line with it all the time, because I tend to during the day, if I'm going to wear eyeliner, I like it to be really natural. And the most natural way I find to do it is to take my ring finger, put it in the center of my lid, lift my lid, and then naturally you'll see that inner membrane underneath your eyelash pop up. Take your eye pencil and then go right in back and forth really quick with your creamy eye pencil, preferably a kohl eye pencil, and pop it in there, and it really stays. It dries pretty quick, and stays really well. I have found that it really doesn't transfer to the bottom, with the Victoria Beckham one. I'm really liking it. The other one that I use to do the tight lining on the upper inner membrane with is the Chanel Stilo. I think it's the Chanel Stilo Zoo waterproof. Zur, which is French for eye. They make a waterproof, Chanel does, and that one is really soft and easy to use to tightline with, and it also won't transfer from the top to the bottom. So I like that one a lot too.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, mine, I struggle. I struggle with, even if I keep my eye open and feel like I let it dry, even the ones that say they won't transfer, they're waterproof. I always find them transferring to the bottom. And unless I want something underneath my eye, which I'm kind of finicky about that, it's like I will go full on smoky or nothing under my eye. So
Right.
I like to have just a little bit of it. Anyway, that's me at this particular moment. But
And you remind me of another trick too, as we're, talking about eyeliners and application, something to really open up the eye a lot when you're doing a tight line or you're lining the top of your eyes with an eye pencil and you really want to bring them even more open. And I know you do this a lot. Use one shade on the top and a different shade underneath. So by using two different shades, you create a really huge eye. I'll often do it in a monochromatic tone. So I'll use like an espresso brown on top to line, and underneath, I'll use like a cafe au lait or something like a different coffee color, something much lighter underneath. And instantly, you create a much larger eye. So, for someone who wants to use top and bottom, that's a great tip and a great trick to really make the eye look really large.
ooh, you're reminding me, I need to go and look for my shimmering bronze gel pencil because I would do that on the bottom membrane and I would do my brown up top. So I'm going to do my new cafe um, liquid pencil, or my liquid felt tip liquid on top, and my bronze
From which
underneath.
company? Whose?
Oh gosh, I have so many of them. It depends on if I want to go warm bronze or a cool bronze. I'll have to do a sort of a follow-up with you. So of course I have the Urban Decay. I
Right.
do have Charlotte Tilbury. I have a Shiseido.
Mhm.
Um, I have a Wet and Wild that I've
Yeah.
even been using again because they did
Yeah.
a really shimmering bronze. So I just kind of rotate and I go all the way from a gold to a like a taupe to a warm topaz all the way into a deep minky brown with shimmer.
Ooh.
Because I tend to like to do, if I'm going to do something on the bottom, I tend to like for it to at least have some light reflection. We're not talking schlitter. We're just talking pearly light
You
reflection.
know who you remind me who does a really good eye pencil with shimmer in it, which brings us kind of to the next category, gel eye pencils.
Mm.
Urban Decay. I think hands down, Urban Decay does the best gel eye pencils. I think they're called the 24/7 eyeliners. They are a gel, so they dry pretty quick. Gel pencil, but the shimmer shades are excellent. Rockstar is one of my all-time go-to for a beautiful sort of plummy shimmer tone that somehow looks very sultry and natural without looking crazy. Schlitter, shimmer, glimmer. Looks amazing.
Oh, the 24/7s have been, you know, a solid go-to. How many decades has that been around now?
I don't know. I mean, I think they launched them in the 90s because I remember helping launch Urban Decay back then. And I want to say that was like, what was that? Like 95, 96, something like that. God, don't ask me to remember dates on a podcast because I will be wrong. But it was sometime in the 90s when Urban Decay came out. And I remember when they did the eye pencils, the eyeliners, it was just like they nailed that formula. And they still did. I mean, I still go for those eye pencils. And they're so soft. If you have sensitive eyes and you just want something that's really easy to put on, they're beautiful. They just glide on. Love those. They're really
There.
nice.
Yeah, it's funny, Susan. I cannot tell you more times than I can count at different desks and in different places in my life. I've gone to reach for a pen and I pulled out an Urban Decay 24/7 liner in various colors because that's how many I have had
Yeah.
and still have to this day. In fact, I went to go sign a credit card receipt at a restaurant the other day and I was wearing a purse I hadn't worn in a while. And I reached inside to pull out a pen and I started to sign it. And what was it? It was an Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner.
Yeah. See, perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it would have worked and it would have stayed. That signature would have stayed 24/7. It was stayed all day. Um, Another gel eyeliner that I think is excellent, and we used them when I was working in live television. This was the only eyeliner we used for all on-camera talent. And I think most people, most makeup artists still use it, and that's the Bobbi Brown gel eyeliner. You use it, it's in a little pot. It is a gel in a pot with a brush. It applies beautifully. Doesn't have a matte. It doesn't have a shimmer either. But it almost has like a cream effect. Beautiful. If you want to use a liquid eyeliner, but it's too liquidy, sort of this gel eyeliner in a pot is the way to go. And the colors are great. The only issue with them, and I will tell you this, if you leave them open to the air, they will completely dry out and you will ruin them. Bobby's not the only one that does one. I
Smashbox. Smashbox.
Yes,
Mhm.
Smashbox does a gel liner in a pot with a little brush. I love those. I think
I
they're beautiful.
They're beautiful. And for somebody that wants the intensity of that thick paste at the lash line, but they want to brush it up and flirt it and smoosh it in to kind of have
Yes.
like the later life fade done away eyes,
Mhm.
they're great for smooshing and, pressing it around.
Yeah, and they don't go anywhere. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're someone who wants to do your eye makeup in the morning and go to work and then go meet friends after work for happy hour or just get together with friends, I'm telling you, those gel eyeliners in a pot with a brush, they will stay on until you take them off at night. So those are fantastic. And I agree with you. I think they give a really pretty, definitely more of a dramatic eye, but they're really easy to use. They're kind of mistake proof, sometimes a little easier than a liquid.
Mhm. And also sometimes what I like to do is piggyback my eyeliners. And I'll do this. Sometimes I will do, a brown or a black really, really tight to my lash line. And then I'll come in with like a cocoa or even a pearl, like not a white pearl, but like a beige pearl or an ivory pearl eyeliner right on top of it.
Yes.
And it's like very ladylike, very elegant, very sophisticated. You don't have to do a wing. You can if you want, but just that little bit of a precision, just clean up the corner of the deeper tone with a lighter tone on top. Of course, you can go crazy with a color. Nobody's stopping you. But I've been piggybacking lately too.
Yeah. I think that's a fun look to do and pretty easy for most people to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's making a comeback
Ooh,
in the world of eyeliner?
I think I have an idea. Tell
Cake
me.
eyeliner.
Mm-hmm.
Good old fashioned cake eyeliner, which for those of you who don't know, is basically a powder in a pan, but it's extremely dense, no shimmer, really no oils to speak of, pure, heavy, thick cake eyeliner. You use water or a mixing medium, or as Hillary so eloquently said, spit. I'm just kidding. And you just wet the brush, put it on the cake, and apply. They're definitely a more dramatic eye. They tend to only come in like black and brown, but it's something that is not going to move from the moment you apply it. It will not go anywhere.
It's true. They're bulletproof. So, fun fact in my defense, I'll tell you a quick little story. Both Rimmel and Maybelline say that they were the first that invented mascara, but cake mascara and cake eyeliner were the same thing
Yes.
forever. So, I mean, all the way back to when people were using lamp black with Vaseline or kohl and Vaseline. Those were really the beginnings of mascara and eyeliner. So that's where it started. And we're seeing a return to that, which is really fun. So
Yeah.
it was a gentleman who was, working in a lab, a bit of a chemist, his sister, story goes, was bemoaning that she could not get a beau because her eyelashes were not as dense and lush as the other girls. So he mixed up and created something called Maybelline.
Right.
And now we're seeing the return to the cake liner. In fact, Besame has brought one back. They're calling 1930, and they've tried to stay really true to the original 1930s formula, but they took out the soap because originally it was called Spit Black, by the way. It's from the
Mhm.
men used it in their beards and in their sideburns, and they'd spit in it because that's what men do or did in the theater back then. So it was all spit activated until we started, doing it a different way. So
I always liked, believe it or not, a cake mascara. I always thought they were really fun. I remember when I was in education at Chanel, we launched a cake mascara and eyeliner, and I still have mine, and it's awesome. It's definitely a look. It's very smoldery. It's very long wearing, but it's very labor intensive. You have to really work up the cake mascara, with the water, and you apply the eyeliner with the little brush, and then you have to do a lot of coats. It can also dry and flake off. I'm not going to lie, but it's definitely a look. It's something kind of fun. I can see where the younger generation would be into messing around with cake eyeliners and cake mascaras. But I have to be honest with you. It just takes too much time. It takes too long now for me to even get into that. I have other stuff to do. Then
It's a bit of a ritual. Mob is doing one that activates with far less water, and they're doing some fun colors too.
yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
not
ex-
play.
exactly. That's, I think, the one thing that we want everyone to take away from this episode with eyeliner, besides all the different brands we've given you and the different versions and breaking it down and all the tips and techniques. Have fun with it. Have a good time. If eyeliner makes you happy, use some eyeliner. If it doesn't, skip it and do something else.
Absolutely. And Susan, we cannot close this episode without talking about liner underneath the eye. There has been a scandal afoot about people telling women over 40 that they cannot wear liner under the eyes because it makes the eyes look smaller. It draws attention to wrinkles and bags under the eyes. I always kind of say take it easy under the eyes unless you're going for evening. But at a certain age, you do need that definition. So I like to even go in with a soft shadow under the eye, matte or shimmer. You can absolutely do a liner, especially if that's part of your identity. You might want to change the color ever so slightly.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, I think a lot of these quote unquote rules or people get in a twist about what you should and shouldn't do, which you and I have always agreed, rules are meant to be broken, especially with makeup. And it's so personal. But I think a lot of people get caught up in the fact that, you shouldn't be doing heavy liner under your eyes. It can age you. I think they're really talking about heavy black. I think you have to be careful with black eye pencil unless you are a deeper pigmented skin tone. That's a different story. That's a different situation. Then black is perfect for you. But if you have a less pigmented complexion, maybe using a black eye pencil could drag down the eye, could accentuate some lines and wrinkles, could accentuate some darkness under the eyes. So I think it's a very personal thing. I think a lot of these rules, you know, are definitely old fashioned. I think rules in makeup have really gone out the window, and you need to do what makes you happy and what makes you look and feel good. Yes, there are some tips we can give you to obviously look younger, look better, look fresher, but it depends on your skin tone. To tell people to not use, a black eyeliner if you have a darker skin tone is wrong. Absolutely you should. I think it depends on your hair color, your eye color, your skin color, all of that, which is why we have to be careful when we make these broad rules and we put it out there on social media and tell people what to do and what not to do. We don't know what you look like. So it's really hard for us to kind of say you should or shouldn't do this.
Right. And I also encourage all of you that are listening that kind of feel like, oh, my eyeliner looks different. I don't know what to do. Guess what? This is a new time to reinvent your look. So try it. Try different things that you didn't like before because they could become your new signature. And it's just makeup. You can wash it off. Try it.
100%.
Take a picture, wear it for a day, see what you think.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with making it up.
that's right. And you know what? Sometimes a little bit of color on the eyes really looks great. Other days, not so much. So I think it depends, how tired you're feeling that day or how experimental you're feeling that day. But I couldn't agree with you more, Hillary. That's the one thing I think about life gloss that we want people to understand. It's life. It's glossy. It's fun. Have a good time.
Yeah, and that said, we've actually inspired me to go try some colored eyeliner underneath my eyes, which normally I would think was a no-no, but I'm going to go break a rule.
So my current two favorite eyeliners, I think the first one, you can all guess, the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Liner, I believe is the official name. Loving that. And my second favorite is my old standby, which is technically not an eyeliner, but an eyeshadow cream pencil but I use it as an eyeliner and an eyeshadow, is the By Terry Ombre Black Star eyeshadow pencil. I absolutely love that product for a quick, swishy, smoky, one step, that and a little mascara, and you're out the door. What are yours, Hill?
So I like this pencil that I found by a brand called 1999 Beauty. And their whole theory is that regardless of if you're 19 or you're 99, beauty should be simple and fun. I wasn't sure what the name was all about, but that's what it's all about. And they have this color called Voss, and it's a pot. It's like a pot formula, but in a pencil stick. So that means it's a really creamy pencil. And it comes in this really glimmery, shimmery, deep gray. It reminds me, for anybody that's old school, if you ever loved Stila pewter eyeshadow, this is that in an eyeliner. It's very cool. So I like that one. I also like the Kajal Ink Artist by Shiseido in Birodo Green, which is a dark matte hunter green. My eyes are green, so I have a hard time finding green liners that actually complement and don't look weird on my eyes. And I love that one for deep green. All right, Suze. Well, now that we've got our eyes looking all sexy and we're going to go out there and experiment, I want to hear about your date night. As always, stay glossy, Susan.
Stay glossy, Hill.
Meanwhile, find Life Gloss on Instagram and TikTok at lifeglosspodcast.com and on our website, lifegloss.com. You just might catch us live on TikTok. You never know. All right, everybody. Susan, stay glossy.
Hillary, stay glossy.